rock and roll mine in beautiful Herkimer County, New York. I'm Sean Adam, your host, and this is WROX, America's only live Herkimer diamond mining broadcast show in Herkimer diamond mining history. What we bring to you is an inside look at what it takes to get these crystals. This is a beautiful, large Herkimer variation quartz crystal that we mined here at Rock and Roll in what we call Stadium Rock, where these larger crystals come from the earth. These crystals come out of the rock, naturally faceted. Sometimes they're touching the rock, they're attached to the rock. So here we are, it's a hot one today in Herkimer County. I am under the canopy of the trees, and this is where we've been working all day. I'm shooting now from a different angle, from above the area that we've been working. I tried a little bit of a different angle. Here's a nice crystal that was dug out of the hard rock, mined from the hard rock. Has a touch mark on the base, and it's really nice, really gemmy and clear for its size. It's got a smoky zone on the right hand side. This crystal is available. All of our crystals are available that you see in our videos, and all of our subscribers and people who tune in daily have exclusive access to these crystals. These are not listed on our Etsy. The crystals that we feature are not listed at the Etsy. We're just showing you guys, because we're friends. This one's got a touch mark on the base where it was just sitting there. It's got some crystal faces in that touch mark area also. It's got a nice weight to it. Okay, so here we are, we're at Rock and Roll Mine. This is the long shot of the Bigfoot pocket This is looking towards the eastern wall. This is where we've been working, and here's our tailing zone where I've been pitching boulders. You can see that we've also got kind of a tailing zone wall going all the way across the mine. That's a barbecue grill that I made out of an old barrel and a metal chair. Great barbecue grill. Here we have it, Rock and Roll Mine. Some people have asked about up there. Are there crystals up there? Is that Rock and Roll Mine up there? Yes, it is. Do we, Rock and Roll Mine, own up there? Well, friends, the answer is yes. That we own up there. And by we, I mean me and Lunaloo. Mostly Luna goes up there. We don't do any mining up there. It's just a nature trail. There could be crystals up there. I haven't really looked. Because we've been working on some pretty specific places, areas, been mapping a lot of stuff, and we just like to leave it nature up there. A lot of animals go through. There's an animal trail, deer and turkey, and who knows what else. Sasquatch. We don't know. We don't know what happens there. We don't go there. It's kind of a buffer between us and them. Like this wall. I don't know if you guys know this, but here's an WROX news report. Some jackasses in China took a front end loader and excavated a large portion of the Great Wall of China and were arrested on Tuesday. When asked why they had utilized the large earth-moving excavator to dismantle and remove 3,000 foot, I believe, 3,000 feet of the Great Wall of China. And I'm gonna rest my case after this punchline. They said, and I didn't make this up, they needed a shortcut. Like, you just can't even write that material. That is unwritable material, okay? They needed a shortcut. Wow. I don't know how I can equally portray, I don't know if I can portray to you how equally I love and despise humanity. It's equal. It's so equal. It's down to the decimal point equal. I just can't go one way or the other with it. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm like on a highway. There are semi-trucks all around me. I can't change lanes. I'm just going, I have to go 80 miles an hour or else there's going to be an accident. That's really what it feels like. Don't even get me started on parking lots. Look, that looks nice. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice wall? Isn't this a terrible tripod? Just horrible. Never ends with this tripod. Now it's gonna fall over. It always does the same thing. It's like a predictable, significant other. I guess in this YouTube podcast video scope, it is my significant other. It's my business partner. I have an unruly, drunk business partner. And it is this tripod. I feel like I'm at a bar and I'm the only one stoned and everybody else is drunk and I haven't had one drink in 10 years. Just thinking about society at all just makes me want to leave it. Why is that bucket back in my shot? Oh my God, that bucket, I hate it. Sorry, the bucket just really got on my nerves. There's more buckets back there. They're not in the foreground of the shot though, it's not as distracting. There's a Luna. She better not try to pee in the tailings. I think she's trying to figure out if a leaf is a leaf or if a leaf is a snake. that has left the building. Okay, so lately we have been showing this nice little piece of matrix, and I was trying out a new thing and seeing if people would like it. I took one bucket out of the shot, and then I got three buckets in the shot. I've been trying a new thing where I've been showing off some things and making them available, and this piece has been claimed. This was the super cool discount. If you see this video, you get a sweet deal matrix piece. And yeah, this matrix piece is really cool. It's got a really nice little percher and some drues. I'm gonna just trim off this well, that's a toe. It's kind of, let's see, it doesn't really want to be part of it, but it is. It's got a fracture there. It's ready to go. It's definitely a toe. This was definitely sitting like this. And this is probably where the toe, the very toppest piece of the toe, which met up with this vug somehow. So I think it'll sit a little bit better without that. So I'm just gonna snipe it right off there, and we'll be left with this nice little matrix piece with this druze. It's kind of like a little vug. It's almost it might even be an entire vug. I think it is, really. I think it's just the vug. It's probably sitting like this. It's a pretty cool piece. That piece was claimed by Lou. Thank you for paying attention, really, Lou. And you win. You win for that, for paying attention and listening, checking it out, and being present. So awesome job. You sniped the best deal of the week. And I do mean that. $25 for this. In any of the mines, gift shops, this with the little gem, like you go in there and you don't even see them with clear, nice little gems. They don't even put them out there. And then they have all these other pieces that don't have nice clear gems like that on there for $40. I think just a lot of people, they grab all those less expensive ones, so then you're kind of just left with the $40 and up pieces. But the commercial mines in Middleville, I would think that they would have really beautiful museums with amazing, gigantic clusters that are natural and not reconstructed. They don't have them. They sell everything. There is no Herkimer Diamond Museum in Middleville. It's ridiculous, actually. Totally ridiculous. And then the stuff in their gift shops, they're like, they want all this money for, and people buy it. It's very difficult to get these crystals, and some people can't. They just can't. It's just a physical impossibility for them. There's just no way that, a lot of people, it doesn't matter how old you are, you might have any number of medical conditions that are underlying that may hinder your ability to just bust your ass for like 10 hours straight. Sometimes I do it for 10 days straight, and then I have to take a major rest. I just took a rest for 2 weeks and did a big project over doing some landscaping work. Believe it or not, landscaping work in the 90-degree heat is easier than hard rock mining in the 75-degree heat under the tree canopy. Because I was like riding around on a John Deere mower and stuff like that, so it wasn't really as physical. Hard rock mining is extremely difficult. Definitely one of the hardest things I've done in my life in terms of work, and I've been doing it for a long time, so you get used to it, but also you're breaking your body down, and as used to it as you can get, you become unused to it every time you sustain another injury. It's kind of like being a football player or a soccer player or an MMA fighter. It's just slower. It's just, and you're not fighting a person, you're fighting a mountain. Which was the choice that I made. Do I want to fight people, or do I want to fight a mountain? I decided to go with the mountain. Just heard a big thunder come out of the clear blue sky. Maybe you'll hear it on the video. So Lou in Australia, we have good luck with Australia. Australians really seem to love Herkimer diamond crystals. So I'll be sending another package to Australia, which is kind of a far send. Takes a little while. I was surprised last package I sent to Australia took maybe almost 2 weeks. Y'all are just out in the middle of the ocean. Like, it's just like, you're not even attached to anything. Australia. We're here with the safety meeting. I'm about this far into the safety meeting. We're looking at this wall. We're checking out the wall. We're talking about world politics. We're talking about all kinds of strange occurrences around the world. Some jackasses took apart the Great Wall of China, and you know, it's like when I felt the inspiration, you know, when I felt it in my heart that I needed to start building the rock and roll wall, I didn't know why, and I just thought there's been a change in the force. I knew it. Something I felt, and I thought, I have to start building the Great Wall of Rock and Roll. And I didn't know. But at the same time that I started building the Great Wall of Rock and Roll, I've done the math. These two were just caught with an excavator 2 days ago, and they had removed and dismantled several thousand feet of the Great Wall of China because they wanted a shortcut. I mean, frankly, have you ever driven in New Jersey? Have you ever had to drive in fucking New Jersey? They have these turnabouts, they call them. Roundabouts, they call them. And you have to go all the way around in a big fucking circle just to be able to go to the street that's right over there, that you should be able to just take a left onto. And you know, I gotta say that after thousands and thousands of years of having a big fucking wall there and not having a shortcut, I mean, people were pretty patient with China. You know, that wall was there for a long ass time. Finally, these people had the balls to just say it. You know, they just said what everybody was thinking in the room, in the country, in the world. We need a shortcut. We just need a shortcut. And one thing that the main takeaway for me that I've learned is that we're going to have armed guards at the Great Wall of Rock and Roll, because people are just gonna, now that they took apart the Great Wall of China, they just opened up a whole can of worms, man. People are just gonna be taking down walls like all over the place, and it's open season on retaining walls, dams. Just get an excavator. Just tell them that, Niagara Falls, let's just, you just take it apart a little bit. Because you wanted to have a place to sit. Fucking morons. These Chinamen over there with an excavator. How in the fuck did someone that dumb get a machine like that? Those machines are expensive. Maybe that's why they needed the shortcut. It was costing them too much money to move the stuff with the excavator. Sounds like something somebody around here would do. That's why we're going to have armed guards on the Great Wall of Rock and Roll. Because it does sound like, now that I'm thinking about it, that does sound like something someone around here might do. So as the president of the Rock and Roll Mine Security Association, I'm putting it out there that we are currently taking applications for licensed, bonded, and insured armed guards for the Rock and Roll Great Wall Around the World project. We're not going to give you guns, we're just going to give you a portion of a 2x4 that was sawed with a circular saw. Sourced from the hoarder neighbor who relentlessly saws 2x4s all day into smaller pieces and stacks them all day in back into longer pieces that just aren't attached anymore to one another. That's a lot of moves, man. A lot of moves to get it back to being the same thing. One thing that I've noticed about upstate New York people, they just fucking burn everything. There's just constantly smoke, just constantly pouring out of Canada, out of upstate New York. All the whole world's smoke. Burning everything. Just burning forests, whole entire hundreds of thousands of acres. Which is why I'm installing a sprinkler system on the roof of every structure on this property and surrounding it with a wall made out of boulders. So here we are, rock and roll. Mosquitoes are thick. Yes, the mosquitoes are thick. We're about that far into this safety meeting. Don, how are you doing? I just noticed your thunderstorms. You know, it's been muggy here and it's been hot. And I just heard a big thunder. And now that I look to the right-hand side of the sky, it looks like a thunderstorm. To the left-hand side of the sky above our shot, looks pretty clear. But yeah, it seems that the thunderstorms are moving in from the west from the, looks like they're moving in from the north. I still don't fully have my bearings here about what directions I'm facing. I mean, I know right and left, but east, west. And I keep forgetting that I'm pretty sure that the West Canada Creek runs to the west. And so the storm clouds are actually coming from the north. It might even be a big doomed storm cloud of smoke from Canada. It might be. Okay, so we're going to have a package that's going to be headed to Australia. That's good news. We've got, I've been putting off going to the post office. because I have to go to Dolgeville, which is a town that's next to Middleville, but it's a little bit of a drive. We don't have a post office in Middleville. It's ridiculous. There's a post office in Newport and there's a post office in Dolgeville. The one in Newport is never open. And it's tiny and weird, and I don't like it. So I just drive all the way to Dolgeville because it's a regular post office. In other news, don't put bananas in your smoothies or else you ruin everything. Completely dissolves all of the nutrients in the rest of the fruit you've put in your smoothie. Now back to you, Kate. I ain't never gonna stop putting bananas in my smoothie. I ain't never gonna stop. That's crazy. Sometimes I gotta do a news flash because they put it there. They said you gotta say this, at headquarters in Boise. But here's the other thing. That doesn't mean that I have to agree with it forever. Listen, all the people from Boise in the house, let me hear you make some noise. Okay, well, I don't really feel like doing hard rock mining today anymore. I just don't feel like doing it. So I think we're just gonna do something that we haven't done in a while, which is just have a safety meeting. It's not even focused, probably not. We'll have a safety meeting. We're gonna check out the Great Wall of Rock and Roll, and we're gonna go for a nature walk. Check the property line. Make sure there's no hobos or otherwise. And for those of you who have just had your head stuck in a hole with me for the last week, maybe you just started watching recently. Here's a giant tailing pile of boulders. The Bigfoot pocket is way over there by those tools. And this is what we're excavating our way through. If you can imagine, just going right through the earth. And we're going to meet back up with this wall here. See? That I've excavated from the other direction. Now, don't forget, this is a one-man wrecking crew. Okay? So, just imagine that we're going to go through the tarp. We're going to go through this tree roots. It's not uncommon for tree roots to go right into tailings and then for the tree to just eventually fall over. It's not a good tree. It's kind of like a weed tree. Some ganglion thing. And it's raining just a little bit. Here's a stromatolite. WROX weather report. Light showers, 88 degrees, 72% humidity, some clouds. Sunset will be around after it rains. It's going to rain just a little bit. It's not even raining on us right now. Here's a stromatolite. This is a fossil that's probably 3 billion years old. These fossils are comprised of all of these strange single-cell organisms that will happen in groupings, and other fossilized things are kind of mixed in there and everything. But when you see this kind of a fossil, which you do find in Herkimer County, this is a fossil which existed already in the bed of the sea before this rock was formed, fully sedimentary rock. And it all just went together. So Herkimer diamonds are 350 million years old. Those fossils are 3 billion with a B, billion. It's a little bit rainy, so maybe you can't hear me, but it'll be fine. Billion with a B. Like how much money the politicians are stealing today and tomorrow. Okay. A little bit rainy, it's fine. I'm from Florida, y'all. This ain't nothing. We keep working through this where I'm from because it's better. It's not as hot now. Great. All the tools are gonna get a nice bath. I just want to grab my gloves. See, I heard that thunder earlier, and that was a good sign that I could have just grabbed the gloves then and put it all in my bag. Okay, we're just going to get up close to the mountain a little bit closer to the mountain. And it's just that simple. We take this, we throw it out there in the world, it does its thing, and we just get underneath the first dangerous overhang that we can find. That's the way. Well, I am happy for this Canadian smoke rain either way, because it was dry here. There's no water coming out of the spring. Okay, so here we are at Property Line Rock. All right, and as you can see, rock and roll, the Great Wall of Rock and Roll has to extend. I've got some rocks here already waiting. Some of them have been beautified already by some strange organism that probably comes from space called moss. And the wall has to go right to that rock and then extend itself down and meet up with the Great Wall of Rock and Roll down there. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with it and where it's going all the way around the whole world. Eventually, it might take a few weeks, but the more countries that we can get to pay for it, the faster it's going to go. So if you live in a country, try to talk to somebody who has money in the country, for the country, to donate to the Great Wall of Rock and Roll. And they can do that by buying a crystal or joining our YouTube channel membership. It's just a few dollars a month, and that few dollars goes towards the adoption of one of these rocks that are in need. We'll send you a picture of your rock, and we'll feed the rocks more rocks. And that's just a few of the things that your pledge does to contribute to us helping these rocks become their true dream, their goal to be an Olympic champion, world-class security wall that goes all the way around the world. Okay, now I'm trapped under a rock here. I'm wet. This is true. I'm an embedded correspondent. I just ruined like this whole cigarette. That just cost me 50 cents. All right, well, I don't think it's ever going to stop. I think I was wrong. Finally, I'm able to admit in a public setting. I hope all my ex-girlfriends are watching this right now. I was wrong. It's not just going to rain for a minute, and it's just going to keep raining forever. It's just going to keep raining forever, and now the whole world is wet. Okay? The whole world is wet now. It's never going to stop. I'm just going to slowly do the walk of shame. slowly do the walk of shame back to the house, as wet as I can possibly be. See, that's the way that canopy of trees technology works. It's not raining nearly as hard out here now. Here's some patty pan squash that we're growing this year. Some patty pan squash, some yellow crookneck squash. Wow. I'm pretty sure that Canada just sent this to us. Not even really raining over there. Anyway, it's just too dark up in the mine right now. It's fast. And now everything is raining, but the positive about that is that it's going to wash all the tailings. All right. Well, this connection sucks. I'm like, really? No, really, don't you see it? It's there. It's a UFO. Sorry, everybody. We're just gonna go for a walk. Kind of just came through. It rained for a minute, and now it's leaving. It's definitely still raining over here, but only over here. I'm letting the grass grow. Then I'm gonna hack it all down when it least expects it. I think I know what we have to do. we've arrived at New Wave Pocket at Rock and Roll Mine on the other side of the mine from Bigfoot Pocket. And good people of rock and roll, we're under the most dangerous thing you could imagine. You're gonna love it. We're under this, which is a bunch of dirt and rocks, and that's a big tree root. It's like holding it all up, and it's great. So we've been excavating that stuff out of here, you know, under here, and just hitting pockets like you just wouldn't believe, left and right and left. There's a left and right and left and down there, and to the right over there, which is just below those, and also way over here, right there, up there. So if you want to know, I mean, really want to know the truth, we're not fucking around, you know, we're just getting in it, you know what I'm saying? Here's a pocket that's filled with dolomite crystals, the salmon-y kind of pinkish colored crystals there all along the roof. Nice deep pocket. Here's an area that has quite a few pockets, quite a few bugs. Pretty buggy. There's a nice pocket right back up in there. And we're under a 4 or 5 foot overhang. That's probably one of the most dangerous things I've ever been involved with in my life. And I didn't do it, but it's there. And yeah. It's there. Here's another. We call this left side tailings. We're all the way over here to the left side of the mine. And I'd say we're just about at property line rock. Yeah, that's this one. Property line rock. On the left side. We were at property line rock on the right side just a few minutes ago. And that was about 100 miles that way. Way over there. Here's an ancient river rock from when the West Canada Creek used to run all the way up here, or during some great flood it got dropped off way up here. Way up here. There's a dangerous situation just looming right above my life. You get used to them after a while. It's just kind of teetering there. It's got a couple of smaller rocks holding it there. And, yeah. beautiful situation. Checking out an eroding mountainside that you could just literally fall down at any moment. Okay, so here's what we're looking at for the New Wave area. It's kind of a hobbit house of tree roots with an earthen roof, and this tree is responsible for all of that. Destruction and chaos. And there's the chain that you can use to pull yourself up the mountain with. We're just going on a little bit of a nature walk here. This is a nice area to look far, far, far away and make sure that engines ain't coming. Way far, far up on that other hill. But mostly we just pay attention to all these tailings here. It's really a lot of tailings. Imagine how many walls we can make. Not just one, not just the Great Wall. We could make the Great Wall and its accompanying lesser, greater wall than other walls, but not as great as that wall. We could do that. We could also make a lot of tiny replicas of our Great Wall with these smaller rocks. So if you can imagine all the organizing goes into owning 17 billion rocks. It's just a big organizing task. Smalls, mediums, and larges. Let's see if we can find anything in this now that it washed a little bit of the tailings off. People always say to go looking after it rains, but why wait, you know? Why wait? Why not just go while it's raining? That way you can be one with the wet stuff that's everywhere, because you're just a pile of wet stuff too. Doesn't matter. It's better. It's better for everyone to be just equally wet. I really don't necessarily find more or less crystals before or after it rains. And that could be because I found them all, and I need to get rid of a lot of this stuff. Or wash it properly. I probably need to wash it properly. Some industrial way. Just washing dirt. That sucks. It's just a dumb job. Boring. Not as boring as this video probably is to everyone, but almost as boring. This was probably around video 40 or 50 that we pulled some crystals out of this pocket. If you would be interested in watching a live video about pulling crystals out of the pocket. This was some recent breaks here, also in a live. 60 to 70, somewhere around 60, number 60. We did this entire shelf right here, over to here. And yeah, probably live number 60 to 65, somewhere around in that. We found some nice crystals in here, really gemmy ones. And remove this area in the same video. Much earlier in the lives, we excavated this entire area by hand. All of these came out of this area. And you can see in those videos how one person can lift, remove, and move these large pieces out of this area, finding crystals. And all in this area here, all of these pieces were lining this wall here. And there were just beautiful, really, really clear crystals and bugs, no pocket. I was thinking that there's a pocket behind this toe. Somewhere up in here was my initial thought. And then we got a lockout. And it just is hard, tough. So, sometimes these are extremely heavy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of them. They all came from this area here. And you can see in those videos, probably earlier live videos, 20, number 10 is 20. But I did not locate a pocket and along this route yet. It kind of curves up a little here. Started doing some things that were frustrating me. So I took a break, because when you're doing this kind of work, you start getting frustrated. You start doing things that normally you might not do. Make a dumb decision. Can really hurt yourself. So I just kind of moved these away, left them be. But I got to keep going this way. And now we're out to this. And it kind of continues along. This area here was all excavated by hand in some live videos. After I did up to here, along here, I base of this got a little bit, starting with that toe there, gradually more locked out between this one, and this one. I just didn't want to mess with it anymore because I want to get all that away. But that might take a season of winter. Sometimes you have to just let it soak in with water in an area that water was never really able to get to before, and then it's going to freeze and expand and maybe create some fractures that you can exploit the next year. But these large boulders are solid, extremely heavy. Can't break them down yet. They are able to be broken down, just not today. This is a pool that is being built out of stones, and the water naturally comes down in the spring right here in this area you can see it has all this growth that just comes there. It's because water comes down and just kind of naturally pooled in that area. So along with the Great Wall, I'm also building the spring water pool right up against the mountain. And you can see that there's a little bit of a walkway, and this is kind of where I dump a lot of tailings, and eventually smaller stuff gets thrown in here. I'm going to put a liner and stuff in here eventually, but after I'm going to build it up to a few feet high and then retain a lot of this spring water in this pool. You can see how the rock is different. Really quite a bit of water comes down into this pool from that area. So this is a pretty boring video, I guess. Just kind of walking around the property, checking it out. It's raining. This is Rock and Roll Mine. And maybe I can just walk around in some open areas. See some over here. Not seeing much. Smoky tab on the tailings of the starseed area. Weird. Always weirdos. Always weirdos. At first, I wasn't even sure it was a crystal at first. Might not be. I think it was between two rocks like that. Might have been just completely surrounded by rock. Almost completely. Weird piece. Kind of strange. Kind of ugly. But cool. Is that a piece of glass or is that a Herkimer diamond? I think it's a piece of glass. Oh, maybe not. That's a rock. I don't know what that was. Well, this is not as successful as I imagined. Here's an old knife. Which I just remembered I keep here just in case I need to really fuck something up in an old-timey way. Okay, we're just gonna go to what seems to be perfectly lit on the screen for you, pretty much, but pretty dark. Why won't to focus. One. There's a little one. It's just dirt. Shiny dirt. Okay, I have the crystal tube. I'm gonna put this little crystal in it. There's another one I just found. Oh God, it just won't focus. Little percher. Seems like a little flat on one side. Okay. Let's see, I don't know. I don't know. There might be some here, there might not be. I probably need to dig a little more here. Some interesting patterns happening on the faces of these walls, though. Pretty cool. I don't see crystals in the wall, which I do find sometimes. Just a crystal hanging out right there in the wall that I dug. Well, I am soaked, but it's cool. It was very hot earlier. But now I probably smell like a wet dog. Dirty boots. Wet mining clothes. Yeah. Okay, we are in the starseed area, which is deep at the base, the very base of the mountain. area that we've been excavating since last season. Don't pay a lot of attention to it. It is a lot of tailings, and we are pulling from those tailings for the Great Wall of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Big, beautiful wall. That's its full name, the Great. Oh, yeah, it's too long. I gotta edit that down a little bit. Not too much, like just a little bit. Here's a good example of one just hanging out in the wall. This camera's having a hard time focusing, I think, because of the moisture. I think it got a little wet. It's probably ruined now. Too wet. And it just ruined itself somehow. There's a cool piece of cruise. Well, maybe this out of focus, crappy, boring video, maybe it sucks. There's one. Tiny one. Maybe it's just that it's not white enough. It's too dark here. Maybe the crickets are confusing it. Who knows? Maybe it's just way too zoomed out. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Probably, well, maybe not. I don't know what it is. So my screen is absolutely destroyed. The camera lens on my phone is totally destroyed. This is what, you know, doing this live mining can do to $1,000 phone. Alright, well, maybe I should just end this live. Live in Herkimer County, this has been another episode of WROX Live at Rock and Roll Mine, a production of Radio Free America. I'm Sean Adam, your host. I'm just going to read through a few comments real quick, and then I think we're going to sign out for the day. Hey Beaver Duck, how are you? Not sure when you got here, just saw your comment. Alright, we did a walk around quite a bit. I just realized that's filled with water. Right. Mosquito trap. Okay. Here are some squash that we're growing. Some patty pan squash and some yellow squash. All right, I'm gonna sign out for the day. It started raining, I got wet, and we found some crystals earlier. So it's always beautiful in Herkimer County here at Rock and Roll. I'm Sean Adam, your trusty leader and your host here at WROX. We report the rocks. Have a great night and stay safe out there.